Lord of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Beyond sight. Beyond sight.
What's up? What's up? It's another episode of Sight Beyond Sight. This is our In Search of Horror edition. Today it was Andrew's choice. It's called Funny Games. I'm here with.
I play funny games, my nigga.
Sounds so dirty.
I'm here, my
except for my nigga part.
I'm here, my co-host Andrew, and our guest for these segments, Marissa. There's almost like a second co-host for these segments.
Yes.
And so a real quick synopsis. Rich people get messed up by
random
psychopaths.
Yes.
So that's basically the gist of the movie, but
yes.
we can go on to a regular thing and go ahead.
Okay, so it starts off very slow. And what we found out looking for this movie is that the version that we watched was 2007 version.
The US version.
The US version. There was I think it was a German version originally. So we watched the US version. And it starts off with a wealthy family, and it looks like they're going to their lake house. And they're towing their boat on their car, and they're listening to classical music, trying to stump each other, playing a game in the car of which classical song is this. Very dull, very boring intro. And what really I think was weird in the beginning is they're all bougie and listening to classical music, and then all of a sudden it's like this crazy death metal background while
it's like European death metal, but from back in the day, because it was they played the same song in the original movie that we found out. So.
Right. So they, on the way to pulling up to their home, they stop at their friend's home, and they kind of yell jokingly through the gate. Basically, it looks like they're playing. They're hitting the golf ball in their yard, right?
What up,
practicing.
Bitch? Yeah, that's what kind of it was. If they were ghettoed, it would have definitely been.
It would have been like, "Yo, what up, bitch? Okay, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. What's up?" Yeah, but it was very weird because
who's that motherfucker with you? Do I know him? No, right?
Yeah.
You good? You good?
You good? So
different.
basically, they see their friends. They throw a joke to them. The joke is not received, but there's two people that they don't recognize, and it just is like a awkward conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And as they drive away, the wife says to the husband, like, "What's up with so-and-so?" And he's like, "I don't know. It's just weird." So they get to their place, and it's very chaotic. Just like, I guess, when you get to any vacation spot, you're unpacking, you're trying to settle in, the dog's going crazy, and it's just chaos. And the father and the son are outside trying to get the boat into the water and setting everything up. The neighbor comes over with these two mysterious gentlemen, and they're at first helping with the boat, and while the wife is trying to set up their dinner, and their dinner happens to be a
filet mignon,
4-pound filet mignon.
Look beautiful.
Oh God.
I wish.
Yeah, they have it at the store over here. I was actually this close to buying it, but I was like, I'm not gonna eat this shit by myself.
You don't want to
sit bring it over to us or invite us over.
Yeah,
Come
on. I'm gonna sit here to see flaming alone. Nigga, that's why I'm gonna knock on your door.
Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum.
All you had to do is be like, "Hey, I bought a filet mignon. You want to come over?" Yes, of course I do. Do you have bacon to wrap around it?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That'd be interesting. Because I feel like the way you have to cook it, but
what?
That's off the point. Let's get back to the movie. We're talking about cooking filet mignon.
You guys are so barbaric. Anyway, so as she's trying to cook their dinner, one of the guys comes in, and to make a point, the way that they're dressed is kind of odd. They're kind of wearing white like almost all white.
It's like
White
polo wear.
gloves.
Polo, like boat clothes,
golf clothes.
a caddy, like
Yeah,
a golf
yeah, yeah.
clothes
Kind
caddy.
of, but they're wearing these
Yeah.
white gloves, which is
But
That's
you
golf
wear them when you're
gloves.
golf.
Those golf clothes, golf
no,
gloves.
because the golf ones they kind of like wrap over and they're like
All right, Marissa, getting super
didn't
technical.
know Marissa played golf.
It
They
looked
didn't
like
have the three
it
holes in
looked-
them.
It looked more like like what the butlers wear and like tonight.
All right, and a
Yeah.
little bit, yeah, they got. All right, I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
So anyway, so he comes in and says, "Oh, Mrs. So and So, she's cooking and she needs 4 eggs." Oh yeah, no problem. I have eggs. So the lady gives this guy eggs, and he's carrying the 4 eggs, and of course, he drops the eggs. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I dropped the eggs, and she's starting to get a little annoyed. Like,
You could tell
Because he dropped them on the floor before he even left the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what the
He was
fuck,
like,
man?
oh,
well, she was a dumbass for not giving him something to put them in.
shit.
Even a Chinese food plastic container, put in a
She is-
Tupperware, anything.
She is a
rich. She ain't got no
dumbass, but
Chinese
at the
food.
same time, he is an adult man-ish.
Could've
Okay,
put it in
Could
his
have been
pocket.
like,
could have put them in his pockets.
could have put it
But-
in his pocket.
Those shorts were mad tight.
It was
Those
tight.
shorts were mad
It
tight.
was tight, but
It would have looked like he had like 6 testicles. It would have been weird.
listen,
a little
he had a
weird.
fucking unibrow. It wasn't. He wasn't really doing much for himself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he asks her for some more eggs. They have kind of like this weird little like, but I won't have blah blah blah. They go back and forth. She gives him the eggs anyway. But in the meantime, he accidentally kicks her phone or hits her
Yes.
phone.
That'd be
Her
funny
cell
if he was
phone.
just like,
He did like a jump kick and knocked it into the sink. Fuck your shit.
She accidentally hits her cell phone into the sink that's full of water, of course, disabling her cell phone. It's the old school Nokia flip phone, or maybe Motorola.
yeah, it was
flip
like a
phone, 'cause they were
Motorola.
ri-
It
they
was
were
like right
rich.
before the Razor.
Yeah,
It came
they
out.
were rich, so it had to have been a Motorola.
Yeah.
Now, it's also good to point out that in the car scene, the husband definitely had a cell phone, like on a, what do you call that? Like a little holder.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like a little BlackBerry cell phone thing. Who he happened to leave it in the car. Like nowadays, we couldn't even imagine leaving our
Well,
phone in the car.
No, I agree with
Nah,
that, but that was
yeah.
before social media. And the
Yeah.
only thing I would have to say is like,
He was cheating on his wife.
realistically, imagine that. Realistically, it was just like they had an automatic closing gate. So it was just like, oh, we don't have to worry about the
Yeah,
phone.
I mean they were in a private neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so after that, he goes outside.
I like how you had a brain fart. Like, where was I?
So after that, he goes outside, but then there's like the dog is barking and there's all this disturbance. And then the other guy comes in who's like more of the smoother talker,
Yeah.
I would say. And he comes in and she's like, well, who are you? And he tries this weird, awkward, conversation with her. And the other kid comes in and it becomes like this weird dynamic because it's like I hate it. I hate it. Only because it's the weirdest conversation I've ever witnessed.
Well, when they coming inside.
Yeah. It was the weird. I can't even describe the conversation because it doesn't seem like it could happen in real life.
It could.
It's
No, it could with weak. You got to think about it.
Weak men.
It's weak men.
no. It's before the husband even comes in the house. It's the
Oh.
conversation
the two
between the
guys
wife and the 2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the guys sees the golf clubs. Oh, these are great golf clubs. Can I go try them out? And now, mind you, the dog is still outside barking like a fucking crazy dog.
You're gonna say crazy person.
That's fucking hilarious. I mean, in a way, you could say, "Nah, I don't want to say it."
No, you don't.
Because I
it's gonna
definitely,
make you sound weird.
yeah.
I'm fine being weird, but
Mhm.
you're okay. So it's just like a weird conversation. And at first the wife seems very almost awkwardly defensive. It kind of almost puts you like, why is she being so weird?
But she kind of
But
knew
they're
already.
being weird.
I feel like she knew.
You think she had a sixth sense?
She
Like
knew.
she knew something was up.
She deep down inside was like, "I gotta get these niggas out of here, but I can't do it by myself."
Right.
Yeah, because there's 2 guys on one. She doesn't know
Yeah.
where her husband is.
Yeah. So then they the guy who wants to test the golf club leaves the house, and it goes to the husband and the son on the boat, kind of putting the boat together and everything. And they hear the dog barking, and the son is like, why is this dog barking so much? And the dad's like, I don't know. And they hear the dog barking. Nobody does anything about it. Now, if it was my dog and they were barking like that,
Georgia.
yeah, Georgia, what the fuck, Georgia? And I would go see what was going on. They obviously don't care about their dog. Then all of a sudden you hear the like something's happening to this dog. Neither one of them move to see what's going on with the dog. They're just kind of like, that's some weird sound.
Pretty much.
I'll go check it out in a second.
But not even. They don't give two shits about their dog. So, strike one for their humanity. So finally, the guys come back to the house and they're asking for the eggs again. And she's like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, I'm not giving you any more eggs. And not that way. Like, the way she's going about it, she's being the hysterical woman.
She's being
right?
nice about it. She's not a nice way.
No, she wasn't. She went from being nice about it to being hysterical about it. And there was no rationality around it. It was just like, so when her husband came in and she's physically grabbing the one kid, trying to push him out, the husband's like, whoa, what's going on? Now, if it was my husband and I was pushing somebody out of the house,
I wish he watches this and he says no.
I'm pretty sure.
Why you bugging out, Marissa?
Pretty sure he would snatch that motherfucker by his throat. And
your husband is definitely twice the size of the guy who's in this fucking movie.
That's true. That's true. But at the same time, I feel like my husband would do much more than this husband did.
Yeah.
Because he kind of went, whoa. Let's figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to know the situation. And let's see if we could talk it out. Maybe it's some rich people shit. I don't know.
It is. It's that rich comfortability. Like, when you have you're in a private area, you don't think about like the negative shit. Like, that's why people in ghetto movies, this is why you can't make ghetto horror movies.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna look at you like, yo, you must be stupid. Like, why are you standing by my door?
Vampire in the Bronx? What about the
That movie's fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious. I love that movie. I love that movie because it's hilarious. It's not scary at all. It's fucking hilarious.
But he does have a point, because even in real life, where do serial killers go first?
Yeah.
They go to fucking
You
suburbs.
go to where people don't really worry about shit. Like, they're happy. They're like, nothing's gonna happen. We have security guard Chuck at the doorway.
Yeah.
Like, and
meanwhile, security guard Chuck is drunk and fucking sleeping.
Yeah, you're watching Netflix.
Or porn.
Yeah, most likely. What time is it?
So anyway, what winds up happening, there's an argument. The dad winds up smacking one of the guys in the face. Bitch smack.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, get out of my house. But he didn't follow up on it. Like, that's how you know he was a bitch.
two-piece.
Yeah,
it was just
no two-piece.
Like, there you go.
Yeah. He didn't even, like, to me, if a man smacks another man in the face, that smack would be so hard that it knocks him off his balance.
See, we need the edit of like the Charlie Murphy shit where slap somebody, a chance to do. Somebody got to go.
Come on, whoever's an editor and you do this shit for cheap, come on, help me out.
Because that's what basically it goes down to. It came out of somebody got to go.
Yes. But instead, what happens is the other motherfucker grabs one of the golf clubs, because obviously they were readily available, and smashes the guy's kneecap. Now, it's a kneecap, guys. I understand that shit probably hurts, and he was bleeding, so it means that it broke his skin. But he was wearing like long pants.
Yep.
And
long pants.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
the jeans should have took 10% of the impact.
Yeah.
You have to slow it down. Like, oh shit, I have to go through this.
Yeah, it's not like but it's not like they twisted his leg backwards. It was like,
no, I agree with you. Like, initially, the knee shot, of course, anybody would be like, holy fuck, my knee. But what comes after is something different. I'll let you.
But the thing is, like, to hit them that hard real quick, like, one, like, a golf club's they're solid steel, like those shits is hard as hell.
Yeah.
But the way that it shows when he hits, it doesn't look like he put that much into the hit. One, it looks like he came down and hit him in the head.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, ha.
It was very bad editing.
So
Very
it
bad.
didn't really like look that aggressive, but then you just watch the blood spot grow throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So
Then it becomes like all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, these guys are violent. So instead of like lashing out and let's try to save our lives, they submit completely and turn into whiny little bitches.
yes.
And they have
And-
what, like 10-year-old son, maybe?
And that's
Yeah,
the
you can
movie,
say it's like
people.
10 years.
And good night.
I mean, practically.
So every opportunity that this man has to be a man, he fails at. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Every opportunity, I don't give a shit how hurt you are. They acted like this man had been stabbed in the gut and is bleeding out for his life. He's
Yeah.
sweating profusely like a crackhead.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he was going through withdrawals. Maybe he was an
On
alcoholic.
the low, he was a druggie or alcoholic.
But they don't give no hints towards that. It's just
But I'm just
a theory.
speculating. I'm just speculating. Maybe he was an alcoholic. He got hit in the knee.
I need my
or
liquor,
maybe,
like spinach, like Popeye. Like you need to
Or
take
maybe-
liquor like
maybe he was on opioids and he was going through withdrawals.
I
and
understand
he's like,
that,
you know,
but
you never know.
I wish I could. Like, I gotta look on my phone, like the actor's name. But if you ever watch him in any movie,
I think it's Tim Roth.
even
or something.
Tim Roth, like even when he plays Abomination and Incredible Hulk, he's sweating his ass off.
Yeah, he always looks
He's
like
sweaty.
this greasy.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he's a DL fucking crackhead, and maybe
Yeah.
that's what he. I need to go take my.
Like, homeboy be dead looking like he's strung out.
And that's what he looks like in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he even looked bad in Reservoir Dogs. He was
Yes.
bleeding out in the back, like.
Yes. See that
You're
he
gonna
did
be
convincingly because he was bleeding out.
Yeah.
It's different.
Fucking
Damn
love
it,
Reservoir.
see,
You're
this
not
is-
bleeding out through your kneecap.
This is why we needed fucking editors to put that in when we're talking about his stupid knee. Just have the other guy go, "You're gonna be okay."
Reservoir
But he
Dogs
was
is
not
awesome.
going to be okay. So apparently, the only balls in this house is the son, because eventually, after they're trying to scare them and basically say, "We're going to play this game. I bet you 12 hours from now, you're not going to be alive." Okay, fine. So during like this whole gameplay thing, they take a pillowcase and put it over the kid's head.
You can see in the background behind us. Nope, the other
Nope,
way.
this
There
way,
you go.
this
That's
way,
the kid.
right there.
That's the son. They put him. They call it like a cat in the bag.
Yes, and they make the mom strip.
Hmm.
Don't fuck with kittens.
Which I at that point I said, if it comes to the point where my husband's incapacitated and there's nothing I can do, I'd be like,
Uh-oh.
really?
Wait,
That's
wait.
all you want to see is titties? And
Earmuffs, Andrew. I mean, Andrew. Fucking Angelo.
I mean, that's the least that you could worry about. Like it comes to the point where I'm looking at everything in the room. There was a big motherfucking TV right next to her. I would have grabbed that fucking TV, and I don't care if I would have missed. It would have just been a distraction.
Yeah. But and just to clarify, I know we're breaking up the movie, but it's like if your dead weight as a man was actually trying, like being in this movie, but he was more than just a dead weight. He was just a piece of shit.
He might as well have not been there.
He could have done anything. Like
Anything.
you couldn't get the strength to be like, oh, they're not looking at me, and use your dead weight to jump on them and just at least fucking punch her as long as you can, or choke one out at least
Yeah.
until they fucking anything to
Something,
try to get your
anything.
wife and kid to run. Your dead weight. So think about it like it. I would feel like I would think about it in my head. If I was dead weight,
And
if
I was gonna
stabbed or
die
hurt,
anyway.
I might as well. Like my kid is fine, my wife is fine, but they might not be. I'm gonna just sacrifice myself, and
Yeah.
hopefully they're smart enough to do the great
But
thing.
obviously he
He was just a
doesn't give two
bitch.
shits.
He was just a bitch. My knee.
Yeah. So, but eventually the son actually gets away, and he was smart enough to like he runs upstairs, which we are like, oh god, he ran upstairs, what a dumbass. But he jumps down the window, they crawls down, there's like a trellis, and he crawls down and he goes to the neighbor's house through the water, because he knows how to get to his neighbor's house through where the lake is, because all the houses are connected by this lake. And he gets there and they're all dead. And he kind of is evading this person that's following him pretty well. He decides to take off his pants because he sees that he's leaking water all over the place, which is kind of smart.
It was decent.
Like he has like some smarts.
He was
And he
fine.
sees a shotgun on the floor. He picks it up.
Mhm.
Now, him being a kid, he didn't think to look to see if it was loaded or not.
It doesn't matter. You just picked it up and go. I would do the same shit
Right.
until I was in like a spot. Like, all right.
But that kid never played hide and go seek in his life because he was horrible at what he was doing.
Right. So the guy's like kind of chasing him through this house very slowly, and he's kind of trying to hide. And eventually he gets to a spot where the guy turns on the light and he's right there, and the kid has a shotgun in his hand. Now, in my mind, the shotgun is not just a weapon of shooting.
Yeah.
This shotgun is long as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
Or a bludgeoning weapon.
Strong enough to hit a kneecap.
You did it to my dad?
Yeah. For my dad.
So the guy goads him into saying, it's okay, pull back the hammers and shoot. It's fine. Now, any other rational person would go, okay, he knows that this is empty. Because he killed the people that are in this house. So he's got it all. This
He's
is
been
empty.
here already, yeah.
So instead of doing something different, he does what the guy tells him to do. And obviously he gets recaptured.
Okay.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So they go back to the house and the mom is retaped up. And like, to be honest with you, the tape that they use, I remember as a kid as packing tape.
It's that brown tape.
That brown tape that doesn't break for shit.
That's warehouse like boxing tape.
Yes.
That's what FedEx and Amazon shit need that we don't get.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Before it got environmental, so to use that paper shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, there's no way she's getting out of that. Because duct tape, at least you could kind of like rip with your fingers. This shit, you needed teeth or
Scissors,
a knife or
something like that.
You need a teeth.
Hey, we know what teeth actually work. The fangs. You got to use the fangs. You need the
fangs. You can't just use your front teeth. It wouldn't work. You need your fang. So anyway, so they recaptured the kid. And one of the things about this movie that's kind of weird is that it breaks the fourth wall, but not as well as Deadpool will break the fourth wall.
Yeah, it's not as much. It's like three points.
Did it 3 times.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I get they were trying to be clever because the original movie came out in 97 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then this one came out in 07 maybe. And so I guess they were trying to be clever with it. But like Nikki said when we were watching it, it kind of pulls you out.
Yeah,
like
you're trying to think of yourself in a position. Like that's what I think when I watch a movie. I want to be sucked into like what would I do? Even if I hate what they're doing.
That's what the director was trying to like do in his own way. That's why when the way he spoke to you,
it
was one of those like it was kind of like it was speaking to you type shit. Like, oh, do you think this is gonna happen? Like, oh, because this is what would happen. Da da da. Type shit. Cause it was kind of like a spit in the face at Nick.
Even
directly,
though I knew it was
personal.
I've seen this movie already.
Yeah, it was personal towards me.
Yeah. Fuck you, director guy.
So at this point, the main bad guy, he basically he's like, okay, I'm gonna go into the kitchen and get myself something to eat. You play this game with them and whatever. So while he's in the kitchen, you hear a shotgun go off. And you don't know exactly what happens. They come back into the room. All you see is the blood spatter on the TV and on the wall and them arguing about, why did you
you'd played the game wrong, like you're supposed to count this way.
Because he counted it, but he shot the wrong person. Yeah. He wasn't supposed to shoot the person that he landed on the number with.
Yeah.
And then not the obviously prey that could defend itself.
Yeah.
They get enjoyment out of the one that could fight back.
Yeah.
The husband is just, you take out the man because he's supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
And obviously this nigga was just never strong. So
yeah. So what wound up happening is he shot the kid in the head. So now the child is laying dead on the floor. The father, all you see is laying on the floor. So you don't know, did they shoot the dad too? Like, I think I only heard one gunshot. Like, what's going on? But he's just laying there. And the mom is obviously distraught, like on her knees, taped up, and doesn't know what to do. And then the two guys leave. Like, okay, game's over. We're gone. So instead of, I would suspect if I was the mom and my son just got murdered in front of me, there would be something like rage.
Something like it.
Something like intense rage and maybe perhaps uncontrollable crying.
There's nothing in this movie.
No.
There's no emotion.
No, there's no emotion for the dog dying. There's no emotion for her kid dying.
That's the most fuck got me mad was the dog. I ain't gonna lie. It was
The way
just like
it
the
flopped
dog
out of
fell
the
out.
trunk.
Yeah. I was just like, bitch, how are you not upset right now? Like,
So I come to the realization at this point that the parents are heartless pieces of shit. And
Or bad actors.
nah, I'm not gonna
no,
say
no,
that.
no.
Nah, Tim Wolf is a good actor. Son.
know.
Reservoir
Yeah.
Dogs.
No,
Reservoir
no.
Dogs.
I'm thinking heartless pieces of shit because they figure I could buy another kid. I'll buy some Ethiopian kid or something.
I mean, they would.
Yeah.
I think that was the goal. She was running down that block and thought, like, I could just get out of here. We could get another kid.
Yeah.
Because she kissed her husband when she jumped out the window.
Yeah.
The nigga got pulled on a chair. Like, she was very, like, yo, if y'all ever want to see a woman, like, be down for her man,
Yeah,
this was the
movie.
definite.
Yeah.
Because her man was a piece of shit,
Yeah.
and no matter what, she was down for him and only him. So she finally gets up and out of her tape and goes and picks up her husband from the floor, and he's completely like, he looks like he's been strung out for days.
Somebody threw water on him. His shirt was wet as fuck.
Yeah, it
Like,
looked
nigga, how
like he
your upper
just
body-
ran through the rain. The same amount of blood is still on his knee. It's not like he's bleeding out to death. And he still can't walk. Apparently, he does not know how to hop on one leg, like most of us do.
Nah, he only figured that out to go cover his son.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to like get the phone that fell in the water to work with some hair dryer. Everybody knows you put it in rice. I mean, come on, Jesus. So they're trying to get it to work with that blow dryer. It's not working. She puts on clothes and goes to find help. And before she leaves to go find help, he says, "Bring me a chair." And then he sits on the chair. And then he goes, "Well, the blow dryer is in the kitchen because that's where the plug is." And she drags his dead weight ass on the chair from the hallway into the kitchen. He doesn't even like use a leg to like help push himself with his one good leg. No, he's a fucking piece of
He was
shit.
trying to keep his energy.
Yeah, but she literally drags him with her scrawny fucking muscles into the kitchen.
Nah,
She hops out of the window to go look for help. And she does a smart, dumb thing, I would say.
You know what?
In a way. So she sees a car coming and she hides. Because what if it's them? And then after a white van passes, she jumps out. And I'm like, no, not the white van. It's never a good thing to jump out in front of a white van. But the white van starts to go.
You know what's fucked up? I ain't gonna lie. Part of me would have been like, technically, you just got to win the game. I just go hide into the morning, 9 o'clock, and be like, nigga, I won. Can't kill me or my fucking husband. Like, it's like she went and tried to get help. It's like, nigga, you just got to win the game. That's all you had to do.
You could have went to sleep.
You could have literally stood behind that tree for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
You'd have been fine.
Maybe.
Because they technically catch her and they bring her back.
Yeah, I know, but you never know with psychopaths. They say they're playing a game, but you never know.
All right, I get that, but all right. So at the end of the day, she would have still alive.
Yeah.
You would have just,
Yeah,
it would have
at
been
least-
back like, we can't find her. Bang. Nigga, you gonna die anyway.
Yeah. Apparently you're suffering because of your kneecap. So
So she then sees another car and decides, I'm gonna stop this car. And that's the car that had the two bad guys in. So as they come back to the house scene, the husband had tried to call 911 twice, and apparently the phone died because it was not charged fully because, you know,
it's wet in the fucking battery and all
that kind of
shit.
bullshit. So he's covering his son with a blanket because he can't stand to look at him anymore. Meanwhile, whatever. It's just such bullshit. So then the bad guys come back with the wife because they recaptured her. And this is when the movie completely shit the bed because it was already shitting the bed a little bit.
It was
and
trying.
It was trying really hard. And then all of a sudden, this is the scene that like could have been cool and they fucked it. So, so now the husband and the wife are still alive. They tie up the wife and they're making her like do prayers. And she's on her knees and they have the shotgun on the table and they made a point to show that they reloaded it. So you know that there's a bullet in there. And she, as doing her prayers, she grabs the gun and shoots the weaker guy, the sub
Yeah.
bad guy,
Yeah.
and
Unibrow.
the
Mhm.
unibrow guy. And instead of like, okay, haha, now we're gonna fucking kill you and blah blah blah, the guy grabs the TV remote and hits rewind, and it rewinds that whole shit.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, it rewinded the movie like it was breaking the fourth wall again. So it
Yes.
rewound that she just killed one of the killers
Yes.
and that's the point that he was joking with me about, like it was a FU to me, because
Mhm.
it was just like, really, you're gonna think that really happened?
Yeah.
And then it rewinds to when she gets the shotgun and they take it away instead.
Yeah, they take it away instead. They shoot the husband, and then they take her on the boat to now go
Sleep
to
with
her
the
friend's
fishes.
house. And they're on the boat with her. She grabs the knife that had fallen into the boat that they showed earlier, because they needed a knife to cut the rope or something. And they had shown earlier that the knife fell into the boat. And she grabbed the knife. And then she doesn't do anything with it. She just grabs the knife.
She was trying to cut herself loose in front of them. They see it, and instead of holding onto the knife and stabbing them when they come close, she just whatever. She just like gave up.
Gave up on life. Yeah.
Like there was no more trying.
Who knows?
Like-
Maybe it was like an end credit scene to that movie. Think about it. She fell in the water.
Maybe she's going to be like,
She goes,
Jason
like,
and just like-
and then she swims up like, haha, I'm still here. That'd be epic. Imagine that. She cut herself out of the fucking thing while she's
I
in the
don't
water.
think they let her have the knife.
Oh, she didn't have it in that part? I thought she
No,
had
I
it on
think
her
they
Unless
boat.
took it
unless
away
it
or
was like-
something. Because when he got up, they like sat her down next to her, and I don't think they would.
Was
let
her
her.
hands were tied with rope?
yeah.
Yeah.
That bitch is dead.
She's
I was gonna say, like, if she had tape or
I
something,
thought
the
you were
water
going to be
pressure.
like, it's like,
Nah,
with the
nah.
knife.
Nah, because like you got to think about how the water would break down the tape. It's different. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Water
It's not like a
seems to-
serial killer.
Yeah.
So then they go to the friend's house that he knows that they have friends at another part of the lake, and they pull up to that, and then it continues.
Yeah,
and
they do the whole
it's-
thing with eggs again.
It's
Just,
basically showing that this is a never-ending cycle of
They're gonna kill everybody at the lake.
apparently that's their lake house. Like they're like fake Jasons.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And
yeah.
then we watched the we kind of like sped through
the original.
the original version, which I believe was German, and it was literally exactly the same, scene for scene, line for line. Like they
Yeah.
copied exactly the same
Mhm.
thing, which I was kind of impressed with, because
Yeah,
usually
I ain't gonna lie. That's
Nah, you don't get that a lot. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, like you said, you get like certain scenes to be different, but to have it be that accurate and not have to read subtitles and just watch American people get tortured is awesome. Yeah, okay, like you just put a Magna flag or whatever the fuck you want to call it in there. I would have been, Magna, whatever.
He
what the
can't,
fuck.
he can't say like every time he likes
Are
anime.
you trying to say Magneto?
No.
Yeah, I got it all mixed together. They all spelled almost the same. It's fucking annoying.
But,
Just have a picture of Trump out out there. Right there. I would have been like, yes.
This is way before that shit.
I would have been fucking 7, 8 stars right now.
Shit.
Some
No.
bullshit.
So okay, let's rate this movie.
I'm gonna do something just to say F you to him because it's his movie. I'm gonna say 5.
This ain't gonna give it a 5. That's some hater shit.
I
You watched this movie before I even introduced it to you.
I did.
Let's keep it honest.
I did.
And you liked it.
I liked it originally.
See?
I did like it. But watching it again and saying how horrible everything was, like acting wise, and
No, the acting. I don't think it was the acting that was bad. It
The
was the story.
The acting wasn't that bad.
All
It
right.
was really the storyline. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
the storyline that was bad.
acting was bad. Well, I say acting because it could have been just what someone wrote for them to act in the scene. But
It
I
was
don't know
exactly
if it
what
was
they
them.
wrote, because it was
Yeah.
exactly the original
Okay,
movie.
true. So then the acting wasn't bad. The story was shit.
The
yeah.
story-
Yes.
shit, yeah.
So I give it a 6 because it was entertaining in the fact that like some of the like scenes of like when the guy got shot and like the kid's blood splatter was on the wall.
That
and,
was
like,
actually a
certain
good scene.
things.
That was a good
Certain
scene.
things were like, okay, I could appreciate this or that. So I give it a 6.
Yeah. I give it
He's gonna say 10 because it's his
Don't
movie.
Don't be prejudiced because it was your pick.
Nah, like listen, I don't pick horror movies. Like I probably won't pick another one for like a month from now because I don't care for these like that much. But I'll say like a 6. Like you know what it is? Is like I heard about it and like I was like, oh, like because I like Strangers. Like I really like that movie.
Strangers is awesome.
Yeah, like that was
The
like
first one. The second one.
I'd never seen the second.
Garbage.
I only seen the first.
Oh my god.
So like I like that movie. So I was like, oh, cool. It's gonna be something almost similar. And then I was just like, nah, these people suck.
Maybe it was the precursor to that movie. Maybe somebody who watched this movie
I could see that.
Was like, oh, I'm gonna make this a little bit creepier, a little bit better, a little bit more modern.
Definitely. Yeah, because I think that's what kept me in the movie was like because I was saying the realism sometimes is more creepier. Like these 2 random kids are coming in your house, but again,
I want them to do it in a more modern way. Like Strangers was a one-off because it was like it
Apparently
was a couple. No.
Well, when
like,
money is involved.
But what I'm saying is like, it was a couple who had gone to a wedding and they rented a cabin
and they were
for the wedding. So it wasn't like they lived there. It wasn't like their place. I want this same thing to happen in a regular suburb. But I don't think it can.
It wouldn't because like a regular suburb, nah.
It's smart decisions that are lacking. That's the problem.
No, because a regular suburb,
but
because listen, regular suburb, look how close the houses are.
That's true.
People are nosy in a regular suburb. Like, come on, man. You act like you don't know who your neighbors are. You know your neighbors. You don't even live in a suburb.
So
that's something different. We're a little bit closer.
So in order for a movie like this to work,
it's meant to be where it's supposed to be.
No.
But in a more
it's meant to be like in the Hamptons and then just have them be a little smarter.
See, but there's horror
more.
Movies in the suburbs that were okay, like Halloween.
But that's different. But that's a slasher that people were out trick-or-treating. It's a different it's a different vibe.
I'm giving an example. Yeah. I'm just saying like you can't
I'm saying like a stranger type of thing.
Yeah, like he said, it's gonna be hard because unless they kept them in the house the whole time, windows shut.
That
somehow,
one person that come outside screaming is a wrap.
Yeah. Once they hear a gunshot, once they hear like
because how many times have we heard gunshots and not even looked outside?
Oh no, but you hear shit like people look out the window. You don't have to like go outside. You just look through your window real quick and try to peep, like see if you see something real quick. Now, you know how many people I don't hear yelling, like especially because of where I live.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, oh, let me see. And it'd be like people yelling at their girl, yelling on their phone.
You know how many times like that across the street, neighbor be screaming at this girl. And I listen because I'm nosy, but like I'm not gonna look outside because I know that they're
that's all,
but you never know. But you
when
just
it comes
said
to that,
you just made the point though. You said I listen because I'm nosy. I might not look outside until you hear and then you don't hear talking no more. Unless you fucking bitch.
Listen,
then you'll be like, oh,
the best example
and then you're gonna look up like, oh, he killed her, and then
that's true because like they let off a shotgun round.
Yeah.
In a house on a lake.
And nobody's gonna hear that. It's gonna be
it could,
but
it could echo, but nobody would know.
Nobody
like,
would
everyone's
hear
houses were fucking humongous.
Yeah,
it's like how the guy with the shovel in the snow shit and he shot the people. He knew he wasn't getting away. That's why he killed himself. He wasn't depressed. He didn't have issues. Never heard that story of the shoveling snow that he was arguing with his neighbors because they were shoveling snow on his property.
Thing happened
so
recently.
He came outside and just blasted both of them and then went inside his house and killed himself. That's basically what happens in the suburb.
Like, happened in the happened in the news. Yeah, recently.
Wow. How you gonna shoot somebody over some fucking snow?
Because it told you not to put that shit on my property,
I don't
my
give a
guy.
shit. I will beat the shit out of you, but I'm not gonna shoot you.
But I think they had previous like issues, like people were saying, but you know how the nosy neighbors come out. I heard them arguing before. Everybody argues with you. Either get along with your neighbors, or you look at each other across the street and be like, "Fuck you."
Yo, you have to do a lot for me to shoot you.
Yeah.
Because I ain't going to jail just for anybody.
But that's the thing. Like, it's like my block is like, there's houses down my block that I know the people. Like, I just know from when I used to go to school alone, walking and like going to hang out, whatever on whatever block, they would see me, like they know me. Like that's how I'd be like, how do you walk with headphones on? It's like, because I know my surrounding.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a suburb is. Like that's how it works. Like you couldn't do that in a project because you're in a building and everybody's there. There's 5-10 people awake while the rest probably be sleeping. Like That shit don't happen. You have to be in a fucking secluded area.
Yeah.
Mad land. That's why people be running for like 5 miles,
Yeah.
trying to get away,
That's
mad,
That's
out of
the
breath.
scariest thing too,
Yeah.
is because if you're in a neighborhood like that, and in this case, it looked like there were a lot of summer homes, so maybe people weren't
Weren't home.
home
Yeah.
or whatever. But damn, don't you have security in that motherfucker?
Nah, not one of those. That look like just a regular, like, let's say call it like the Brentwood in California. Like it's just like where rich people live. Like it's just blocks, like it's a normal blocks, but they just have big ass houses, the
With
gate, and then
gates.
the house is
Yeah.
mad far back,
Yeah.
type shit. Like, nah, I just don't trust that. That's why I don't go out east.
Yeah.
Like I just don't go to these random
But see,
places
that's also
like that.
why there hasn't been very many serial killers in New York. They just can't be.
Yeah, like
Just
you,
can't be.
they not
You got
major.
the Gilgo Beach killer though.
All right, you're gonna talk about this one guy who got his crown off for killing girls and buried them in the beach. Good for
But
him.
there's
But
a lot
it's a
of New
secluded
Yorker.
but it's a secluded area.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
Gilgo
again, held by
Beach
cops.
is-
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that conspiracy out there. He got held by the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was a
said-
cop.
Oh, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. No, if you watch this documentary, there's some shady shit that happens, and it's all about rich people who got money who could hide shit because they know
They
people
don't
and
want
got
this
money.
shit on their property. Like at the end of the day, when you're rich, you always think of property value. Like
Yeah.
when you selling, flipping a
I
house,
don't give
whatever.
a shit if you're on the beach. I don't give a shit if there's a fucking multiple murders. That's
Mhm.
just still gonna be expensive. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, they-
Not as though.
yeah, we want to
And
keep
you're
it
not-
as high
you're
as
not-
I'm
possible.
sorry. 1.5
You're-
million versus
Yeah.
2 million.
Okay.
Fuck you.
All right. Don't say fuck you because we're all poor.
Yeah,
Think
exactly.
about it. I own land that's $2 million, and you just told me it's cut in half. I would be pissed. I would be fucking pissed.
Like, you're
I
gonna have
lost
the
$1
ghost of the Go-Go
million.
Beach guy.
Yeah, but if you're not gonna sell your house, then you don't give a shit. If you're gonna,
But
live there
maybe you
forever,
were. Now you can't because
Some people do random
somebody
shit. Like
wanted-
they have that out
then
here.
rent that motherfucker.
'Cause you gotta look at
Airbnb that shit.
Like they might have that here.
Airbnb that shit until you make the other million, and then you could be like, all right.
Nah,
and you
but
could
see,
do great Halloween
that
shit. Where you're
time,
like,
one-
this is the house that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
it work
yeah.
like that. That's one is an Airbnb didn't exist. Two, most of those people they had that house that's a quote unquote summer house. They come probably to Long Island just for let's say 4th of July.
Yeah.
Then they're back out to Florida where they probably get their real bread or back
Yeah.
to some random shit where like
Did
Long
you watch
Island.
the
is-
documentary though?
I think I did. I just haven't like I watched it once, so I don't remember
Yeah.
it that well.
Mhm.
But a lot of the shit, like a lot of Long Island, like you gotta think like certain spots is just meant for the summer. Like once
Yeah.
the summer hits, we're gonna have
Hamptons,
yeah,
Montauk.
because they take advantage of it, then they're gone again.
yeah.
Like like nobody wants to stay on Long Island. Like who the fuck wants to stay out here?
I do.
I don't know
I'm 5
why.
minutes. I'm like 15 minutes from the beach. Why do I not want to live here?
Because well, I don't know. I don't care for the beach. I'm just
Ah.
thinking like
I want to record this because the first time he was like, why the fuck I want to be on Long Island?
no, I never wanted to
Don't
really be on.
wanna-
I rather like I would personally I would move to the city.
Yeah.
I don't care for Long Island because it doesn't like one, I don't care for the beach that much. I'd rather be in a city where there's a live environment. It's too quiet outside right now. Like I feel like there could be somebody in those fucking like trees in the
Right
fog.
on his patio right
Yeah,
there
like
looking
shit
at
is
us.
weird. Like it's weird shit to Long Island, but like
That would be fucking great because this is how you know we're all surviving a podcast.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
like-
it just is what it is. Like that's how fucking Long Islanders are. Like everybody leaves Long Island and then they just benefit off of what they like how the whole property tax and everything is like boom, ha, got you niggas, I'm out. Because they sold their house. They lived out here for 20 years. Now I'm out. I go live in Florida and I'll do shit with my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the whole New York retirement system.
Pretty
Going
much.
to Florida or North Carolina, South Carolina.
Exactly. And then they take the money they get from the house and they go buy land in North Carolina
And live
Or-
like
and build a
kings.
bigger ass house and they chilling. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yep.
we
I
got
hate-
way off topic.
I know. I'm just my hate for fucking property and real estate. Son of a bitch. Why did I know this when I was
Rich
younger?
people, and rich
Yeah.
people. And rich people. Fuck you, rich people.
I was younger. I would have became a real estate agent. I would have got past my hatred towards people. Like I'm gonna sell houses.
So I guess we'll call it a day. Watch the movie. Let us know what you think.
Yeah,
Yes.
I go on random tangents. One day we're just gonna have random freestyle talk. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
can't, man.
We gotta have that like once a week,
Yeah.
just to get it
Yeah.
like all out of
Out.
this. Yeah, just I
Whatever's
hate
on
life
our
right
mind.
now.
Oh my
And we do
god.
horror houses on Long Island. Nobody talk about it. Nobody talk about it. We don't get no props.
Oh my god. It would be the most they'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about? Nothing. We talk about fucking nothing.
Long
And we
Island.
rant about nothing.
We bigger than Rhode Island, nigga.
I can't
It should be our own state, fucker.
Oh shit. So
Like, who knows why Rhode Island?
And we pay
Everybody-
for all of upstate New York with our taxes. God damn it.
Give us some respect, damn it. Hold it right down.
Put some respect on their name.
That's why y'all listen to Chromo, nigga. We don't listen to him.
all right, so we're gonna cut this off.
I don't think Andrew's
Like,
ready.
follow,
I
subscribe,
don't think
or-
Andrew's ready.
On social media,
My,
especially
my random
YouTube,
anger
Twitter,
just keep coming out.
all that. And if you have any suggestions, let us know. And peace.
Suffolk got his own governor.